today we're going to tidy up some of these files, and yeah, I think that's going to be the focus. I think today, just remind ourselves. So we got loads of warnings. Camera movement. Yeah. Last stream we added life.rs. Camera move. Right. Okay. I know what we're going to do now. This stream, we're going to tidy this up. There's a bunch of warnings we need to fix. There is, move this down a little bit. There's lots of code duplication. Oh, and someone very kindly left me a comment on YouTube actually, suggesting a much better way to handle, or well, probably the correct way. Actually, it's not the better way; it's the correct way. They've given me a better way of, or the correct way of using system data instead of having to use an if statement here to specify the life form components. So we'll probably do that as well. So let's start, shall we? Let's start somewhere easy. Let's just see if we did cargo run. Great, so that works. Of course it does. That's how we left it. And if I scroll up past all of this debug, we can actually see we've got a lot of warnings to get rid of. Let's start there. So actually, if we do cargo build, where did that type? Thought I just typed cargo build, but I don't know what had focus. It's probably in the code somewhere if we're unlucky. Okay, so let's tackle some of these unused variables. So entities unused, mesh handles unused. So that means we don't need entities. Means we don't need that. Well, we do need that. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't. Well, no, we do, because we want to do a count of these things. Maybe we need entities. Let's leave that one there. Hang on. Maybe I just deleted too much. Let's one thing at a time. Let's remove the mesh handle. We know we don't use that. Let's get rid of that. Mesh handles, yep. Goodbye. Save. Mesh handles, yep. Goodbye. That should give us one less warning. Unused variable entity. Field is never read. Life forms. Complain about asset storage. What file's that in? That's in here as well. Okay, so we don't need asset storage. We don't need handle. Get rid of them then. It's easy enough. The building? No, 17 seconds for a build. I reckon. Okay, so it's just this entity thing and just this life form thing. So let's get status. Oh, hang on. Separate window for that, haven't we? Get status. Get diff. Fine. Just check. So we got rid of this read storage thing for the handle. Got rid of mesh handles because we're not using it. Got rid of mesh handles because we're not using it. Great. Something we can commit. So let's commit that. Removed unused mesh handle code. Fine. Throw that up on GitHub. We're away. Okay, so that was, I guess that was an easy win. We've got less code. That's great. Yeah, okay. So for some reason it's complaining about that being complex. What's that? Get the right. Very complex type is used. I'm going to leave that for the moment because as far as I can tell, it probably needs to be complicated. What else have we got going on here? The read storage camera. Oh yeah, we should just check this still works. Just remove some code. I'm very sure it'll still work. Yeah, look at that. Oh, is that doing something additional now? I accidentally got that doing something additional. Fine, I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, we can get rid of this because we've only got one camera. So in main.rs we add yeah, the more I look at this code, actually, the more I'm pretty unhappy with it. This stream is all going to be about sorting out this code. Yes, we add a camera. We call it main camera. We're only adding one camera, right? So we can get rid of this if statement. In fact, we can probably go as far as to not even bother checking the name of the camera. So I'm going to get rid of this if statement. Move that. Fine. Is that going to be happy joining just two things? Get rid of that. I get rid of names. I get rid of named. Happy? Yep. Great. Let's check that still runs. So compiled. And we've got the same two. Oh no, we've got an additional warning now. Because, and that still works. That's great. So we don't need named from up here. Get rid of that. So I guess in a very small way, this code will run a touch faster now because we don't have that if statement. Nice, happy with that. Less code is good generally. Do a git diff again. Check we're happy with it. So we removed named from up here. We removed the named from the imports. We removed this from our system data because we're not reading the storage for the named items anymore. Named components, and remove names from there. Oh, okay, of course, this is all going to show up as a change because the tabbing has changed. We've moved everything a little to the left, but that, broadly speaking, looks fine to me. Okay, so let's commit that. Removed camera name check code as we only have a single camera. Great, so that's a bit better. 50 insertions, 53 deletions, so 3 less lines of code. Push that up to GitHub. What next? Okay, so we've got some code here for loading up meshes, code here for colors. So when we're, if you remember from last time, this whole, all of this code here is about adding a new life form, or in our case, a new yellow triangular object, or a red triangular object actually, to the world. But we're doing that elsewhere as well. When we initialize, let's hide initialize camera. Can I do that? I'd like to roll that up. Yep. What else are we? Where is it? Initializing stars. That's interesting. We only have one star. Maybe that's a bit overcomplicated as well for the moment. Yes, here. So we're adding some, and we call them tetrahedrons. Yeah, we're adding some of these tetrahedrons here. And in order to do that, yeah, we've got mesh tetra, we've got loading up a yellow color. I really think we could probably take, where would we want to add them? Where would we want to add them? So I'm just thinking we can take these out, like these chunks of code, and turn them into their own functions. I'm just trying to think whether that would live in main or whether that should live in life. think it should live. I think I'm going to put it in life for now. So let's deal with this one at a time. So this 3-liner here, we want to replace this with a function call. So mesh tetra equals, and then what's it going to need? It's going to need and what is this doing? Is it loading? So it's loading a mesh. It's going to want the mesh that it's loading. So we're loading the tetra object, which if you remember is in our assets, it's a object file over here. So it loads that. And what else is it going to need? I think it's going to need this world variable. And then we need to define it. So up here, we'll need to make it public. Yeah, it needs to be a public function because we want it to be accessible from main.rs. I've already forgot what we called it. What do we call it? Load mesh. Load mesh. Yeah, let's just take that. Function load mesh, and we want to return this. We're bringing in the world variable, and we're bringing in I think we're going to call that mesh object. I'm going to call it as much as we can. Call it exactly what it is, and we're going to say that's a it's a string. And that can go there. Right, why is that erroring? Expected one of the following. Oh, I didn't specify what it is. Fair point. What is it? Where do we load up world? It's got to be in main, right? Oh, that's simple. We've already done this for initialized life forms. Okay, so we can just say that that's a mutable version of world. Then it's probably going to say you haven't imported this. No, okay, it's going to say something else. Expected. Okay, so this is the return type of this load mesh function. We haven't specified a return type at all, and it says it's expecting. It's found one of these, right? So it's expecting that as the return type. This is probably going to complain now. Failed to resolve. Could not find amethyst assets. Okay, so we need to go to our imports at the top, and I suspect we can just add handle. I'll leave that there for a second. Amethyst assets. Can I do that? Is that going to be happy? Then if I get rid of this, all good? No, not all good. Handle to an asset. What's the... It expected a type argument. Oh, okay. Is that something else that we've specified? It's right. Yeah, it might be right here. Maybe this is it. Maybe we need to say this is a mesh, and I think we probably don't need that. I think we just have to say this is a mesh handle. Yeah, there we go. The compiler is happy. Let's just check our original function calls. We can get rid of this now. I think that will compile and run. Great. Okay, that works. Yeah, move around. Good. Okay, so we've replaced it in one place. Do we also... that's worth a commit, I think, because it's definitely... Oh, doing it again. I'm committing in the wrong window. So let's git commit again. No, it's just gotta get back in practice of doing the git diff. There we go. So we've added the import handle. We've added a function that we've just written. We've removed this bit of code. Granted, at the moment we probably added more lines of code than we've changed, but that's gonna improve in a minute. So let's commit this. Added load mesh function. And refactored life to load it, and refactored in life system to use this function. Great. Push that up. Okay, yep, so next, now that we've done that, we can go along to the function call in our main where we initialize life forms. And I think it's just as simple. Might just be as simple as that. Oh, and a semicolon. We not got a semicolon on the other one, or just copy? Oh, I didn't copy it. There we go. Okay, so if I save that and try running this now. Not wearing headphones today. It's quite freeing. I think I'm going to do streams like this from now on. I don't have to worry about the cable. I guess I could get wireless headphones, but there we go. That's working. Great. So that's worth another commit. Oh, that's worth another commit. Git diff. Let's commit. Replaced. Refactored main. .rs to use call to load mesh, specifically life load mesh. Oh, nearly committed with a typo. Refactoed, main.rs to user call to. Yep, great. Push that. And that's taken 3 lines of code down to 1, which is always fun. Oh, you know what? Look at this. We can get rid of some stuff. We don't need this anymore. We're good. So overcautious with this checking. I try not to unnecessarily commit something that's broken. Removed, so we can say git commit minus message. Oh, we know what we've just done, so I'm not going to do a git diff this time. Removed unused imports. Great. So the next thing is we've got this color load that happens in both places. So let's replace that. So we should be able to do the same thing. So let red equal load. I'm going to call it color. Anyone going to get upset that I use the British version of color? Hopefully not. Be fair though, if they're using the version without the U in Rust, I will probably defer to their version. So what do we need? We've got a loader. We haven't. What do we need actually? We don't need anything. We just need to specify. So this is the RGB. So I guess we just need to specify 1.0, 0.0, 0.0, and maybe. Oh, typo. Maybe the alpha color as well. Let's grab a copy of this. Go up to here. We're going to add this new function. So load color. And we can get rid of this semicolon to say actually we want to return this whole thing. Oh, actually we do need world. What am I saying? Of course we need world. So yeah, let's grab a copy up here again of world. Oh no, there's a space there. I have to fix that. Come here in a minute. I don't have to, but I'm going to. So we've got world, and then we've got RGB alpha, I guess, and those are floats and I32s probably. Go with one of those, one of those, one of those. Becomes an R. This becomes a G. I don't like. There we go. These just work first time. That'd be great. No, I don't think that's. Oh no, it's still. Dog was working down here. What do we got? Mismatched type. Yeah, so we haven't specified what we're returning. So this is a amethyst rendy texture. No. Read the actual error message. So yeah, it's a handle again. We can use the same return type as here. And instead of a mesh, we can see that this is using a texture. So I reckon that might be happy. Why is that not happy? Rate bound I32 amethyst palette component is not satisfied. Not implemented for I32. So I specified I32. I didn't mean I32, did I? Probably meant F. Floating point. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because these are decimal numbers. They were floating point numbers, and I'd specified them as integers, which of course can't handle floating points. What else did we do? We did something else. Oh, world. We needed world to be passed in. So in the same way up here that we've just passed in world as an argument, I think that means we can delete all of that. This would be quite nice. Oh, they're so much easier to read now. Load mesh, load color. That's much more pleasant to read. That doesn't look like it's erroring. Let's check this runs. We wait our 17 seconds. I wonder if, as we replace this duplicate code, if that'll slowly improve the. That still works great. If that'll slowly improve the compile time. Where is the compile time? 8.5 seconds. Maybe that's just. Okay. I don't know why it's faster, but it's doubled in speed. Okay, what else have we got? So we're loading a default material. We're doing something with a color here. Maybe load color was not a good function name. Let's, before I steam ahead, let's just check what we've changed. So we've added load color. We replaced red. Well, okay, so we've refactored to use load color. And actually, we've only refactored in one place, so I'm glad I checked this. So git commit minus m for message. So we've refactored, we've added a call to this and refactored to call the new function. Great, that's what we've done. Let's push a copy of that up. Yes, so here actually we could replace this. Not the whole point, but pretty close. So in this case, we've got 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Red and green make yellow. There's no blue, and it's a completely opaque color. Ah yes, and of course this is in the life system file. Okay, let's check that works. I think we'll probably be good. It's got this far with the compiling. Usually that means it's absolutely fine. So whilst that's doing its thing, do a quick git diff, check we've only, yes, we just replaced a function call. That still works, great stuff. So nervous about reusing commit messages in case you accidentally hit enter and then you have to fix it all. Git commit -m. So we refactored again, refactored to use life load color. That's it. That's all we did. That's all we need to. Great. I just started typing vim commands there. I don't need to do that. I've broken it. No, good. Git push. Okay, so I think that's much easier to read. Creating a texture. So when this says load color, have I just given this a really terrible name? In fact, a complete lie. Because we are loading a texture, we're not loading a color. In fact, I would say load texture, load color texture. I think that would be better. Call it what it actually does. Load color texture. That needs to change, which means that needs to change. Check that still runs. Sure it will. Git commit. Renamed function this to works to this. Great. Yep. Okay, so now what are we doing? This loads a material. Loads the default material. I wonder if we could just take all of that, put it into a new function. Again, it's identical here, so yes. Let's put it into a new function. So let's put all that into a new function. So this one is actually loading color. Color world exec from data. We pass in red. Yeah, actually, it makes sense to keep the default material outside of this new function. The reason it makes sense is because if we're going to pass in the color and the material, yeah, if we're going to pass in the color and the material, that kind of makes sense. So we'll have world, color, and material. So default material is going to be the third thing. Red is going to be the second thing argument. Going on with the mesh then. Where does the mesh get used? Must be further down. Oh yeah, fine. That's nothing to do with it. Fine. What else do we need? And we need world again, so we're going to pass in world. Do that. And then of course we need to write the function. So let's go up here, add a new function. The more I add these functions to this system, the more I'm not sure I want them to be here actually. But we can move them in one go, maybe a bit later. No immediate worry about that. So we're loading color and we're going to pass in world. We're going to pass in the color red, which I guess is a texture. That says red, but actually I'm going to rename that to color. So this is a bit more flexible. And then the last thing we're sending in is the default material. Then what is this going to return? Is this going to return a material? Kind of weird, actually. This is gonna... Oh yeah, let's rename that to color so that stops erroring. This now complaining about expected one of the following. Okay, so I didn't specify what it is. We head back down here to where we load up our default material. That become... What is this? Not right, is it? This is going to be probably going to be a handle too. Oh no, that's not errored. Okay, why is that not errored? No method name clone found for that struct. Okay, so is it actually a handle? Default material clone, mismatch type. So expected render material, but found struct amethyst assets handle. Okay, now what am I doing wrong here? I'm clearly doing something wrong here. Default material, world.read resource material defaults clone. Why do we clone it and then clone it again? An unnecessary clone? So many questions. What happens if I get rid of that? Is that just going to break? Mismatch, so now we just get a mismatch type. So expected amethyst rendy material. That's what I mean. I thought that's what we were going to have as a handle to material. Amethyst rendy material, but it found amethyst assets handle. So do I just need to specify material? We've got material here. Oh yeah, there we go. That stopped that error. Now what? Now can I just delete that? And load color's not really true either, because what this is a this is a material of a particular color. So load colored material, a material with color. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that now as a function name. And oh, we need to return whatever it is that we're loading. So let's change that. Straight bound amethyst specs component is not satisfied. Ooh, what happened there then? Not implemented for nothing. Okay, have I not specified a return type? Yeah, okay. So I think, again, this is going to be a handle, but I think this time we're probably talking about a handle that is a material. Got rid of all of that warning. That's got rid of that warning. Let's try and run it again. Yeah, good. That's working. Let's commit some stuff. What did we do? We created this. So what have we put in previous? Refactored to use. Well, hang on, let's do a git diff, just make sure we haven't had anything weird. Yeah, that's fine. We added a new function. We took out these lines of code. We added a call to the function that we added. All good. we did refactor, but yeah, this is what we did. We added this new function and refactored to call the new function. Great, let's push that. Thanks Bethaney for the 9th. Yeah, that's the 9th sub. 9 months of subbing to the channel. Much appreciated. And now we can probably get rid of all of this. So this matte yellow thing becomes a function call, which we can just grab from here. You know, I'm not really happy. It says color, but it's more than that. Isn't it a color material? I think it's better to name that what it is. Avoid some confusion for us later on. Yeah. I mean, that's going to run. Not even worth checking, really, is it? Git diff. Right, yeah, that runs. So this has become... Oh, too many. This has become... So color has become color material. Oh, without the random bracket. Great, push that up. So yeah, this is what I was looking at. We can take a copy of this, and we can take this whole function call and replace it with, what have we got? So yellow, and we've got our default material. So default material is the same. Red becomes yellow. World is defined. Yes, it's passed in up here. That's complaining because it's actually part of our life module in the other file. Now we're good. Check that runs. And take a look. Yeah. Great. Yeah, that worked. And we got a decent message for this already. Refactored to use. Yeah, we can replace this, can't we? What did I do? Oh no, there we go. Good. Refactored to use life load material. Blah 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 blah. Function calls. It has brackets. Ah, what have I done? Oh, there we go. Yep. Git push. Okay, so that's looking better. What next? So I had some advice from somebody on YouTube. Actually, they left me a very, very nice comment, just showing me where I made a bit of an error. So within the we're within the life system here, and what this does is this loads up the entities, uses lazy update, looks at the named storage, and we need to write to the transform storage, and it uses those as a way of just grabbing stuff that is technically an entity with named storage and transforms attached to it, which is fine, but that means that's going to include the camera as well as the life form components. So I've put this if statement in to check that we're just making changes to the life form components. However, that's not the best way to do this, certainly not the most efficient. And what they've pointed out is actually when we create our life form components here and also here, it would be better if we attached something to them that says they are life form components. You don't need to worry about checking the name. Just just use, I think it's called tagging. Let's have a look. That's what I want, amethyst.rs. Yeah, read the book. So in here, they mention tagging anywhere? Search. Concepts, tags. Yeah, so they mention using this null storage, which is precisely what the commenter suggested on YouTube. Do they actually give an example of it? Well, yeah. So they've created a component called shape. So we're going to create pub struct. So we're going to create a struct called life. We're not going to give it any other information. So actually that's fine, just as is. We're then going to turn it into a component. So part of the amethyst. Oh, what's that complaining about? Should have upper camel case. Why? Because Rust says so, that's why. And Rust is usually always right. Okay, so we've got our life struct. We've given it some storage. But we don't want flagged storage or dense vector storage. We want this thing called null storage, which is essentially how you flag something as, well, then what's flagged storage? Don't know, but I'm pretty sure this is what I want. Okay, and this is complaining. Okay, this is complaining because we need to put some. It's saying that standard default is not implemented for this. So I think, if I remember correctly, in fact, you know what? I can't remember this, but I remember I've made a note of this somewhere. Oh yeah, that's it. So we can do. We can do this. Derive default. I think if I'd have been looking at what I was doing, that would have worked first time. Ah, wrong bracket type. So I think that thought that would work. Thought that'd be fine. And I bet it's because I put a parenthesis, a semicolon on the end. Derive may only be applied to structs. Oh, put it in the wrong place. Right, okay, so that gets rid of that error. So we've created a life struct. We've given it something called null storage, which essentially means nothing. Don't store anything. It doesn't have any information associated with it other than the fact that it is life. And then I think we do read storage. I think we do read storage, but for life. I think that'll probably work. But read storage, write storage. Okay, that worked. And then we need to add the variable into here. That worked. It's just saying, hey, I'm not in use. You sure? Then specify life there. Oh, what's the issue? No method name joined found for tuple. I'm not really sure what the issue is there. Actually, we can play spot the difference. One of these is not like the others. Ampersand, 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 and it's mutable. No, ampersand. Add life. Okay, so it's just saying not in use. So that's fine. So I'm reasonably sure now. And you know what? I'm going to give this a better name. Oh yeah, I'm going to give this a better name. I'm going to call it life tag because actually, then we can do this and we know what it is. Lowercase l. Actually, camel case because that's the way it is in Rust. And yeah, let's just check that runs. We shouldn't see any change in behavior yet. That'll take 10 seconds to compile. And then I think this will probably run. Then I think we can delete this and I'll just briefly explain why. Oh, that's broken. That's not drawing. Why is that? Oh, it's working exactly as it's meant to because we've added this condition saying, hey, only run this code for stuff that's tagged with life, and we then haven't tagged anything with life. So we need to add something to here for a start. What though? What are we adding? Can we just say life tag? Not gonna work. I don't think it will. I think that'll error. No, okay, it's happy with that. That was honestly that was a guess. The other place we'll need to add this will be in our initialize lifeforms function. So here, just put it straight after named with life tag, and it'll complain saying I don't know what life tag is, and we'll say that's in the life module, and this might run. Okay, a couple of warnings, some dead code warnings. We can come back to those because I think we can take some of those out now. Okay, the fact this is taking so long to compile, I'm pretty sure this is going to be fine. We broke it. Okay, what have we got? Thread main panicked. Okay, never good. Tried to fetch resource of type masked storage life tag from the world, but the resource doesn't exist. The resource implements default, include it in system data, and ensure the system is registered in the dispatcher. Ah. I think I know what the issue is. We probably need to add... In fact, I recently ran into this issue and the Rust community helped me out. Somewhere in here we've got the dispatcher. Here's the dispatcher. I think we need to add something here. I can theorize. We can prove that's the problem, because if I was to not initialize the life forms, assuming that this doesn't outright error for different reasons, then I would expect this to run but not draw anything. Definitely going to compile. Yeah, okay, so we just get our 2D star, if you can call it that. Oh, this is turning into quite a large commit. So we could... Let's take a moment on this. So we could... I'm thinking the easiest way to solve this is probably going to be to actually add it to the dispatcher for now. I think on the initialize... Yeah, before we use this, we need to register it. And we've got world available in here, right? Yeah, we've got world available. So what we need to do is world dot register. Then we specify our component. I think that's the syntax. Register our life tag component to avoid an error during runtime. Yeah, world.register. Then we specify our life tag component. Let's try that. And did I note out initialize life forms? Oh no, it's back. I did, but I undid it, so we're good. Hey, it works again. Curiously, that one now only draws one. Only get one little red. I'm sure it was drawing a second line a minute ago, but that's fine. You can see the number of items ticking up. That's just drawing off into infinity. Let's definitely commit something. Okay, we made changes to 2 files. That was to register the life tag. That was adding the life tag to a new object. That was creating our component, our life tag component. Quite a lot going on in this commit. We're not going to do the register of it yet. No, we're not going to add that. Yes, I want to commit this bit. No, not this bit. No, not this bit. So we created life tag component. Created is not necessarily the best word. We defined it. And it's a struct and component. Great. Then we've registered it. I'm trying to think, committing that out of order, is that going to be a... No, it'd be fine. Trying to think, is this one commit or is this many commits? I could just do this as one giant commit, couldn't I, probably? Yes, I'm going to do that. Added life tag component to new life and to life system. Great. Anything left? No. Let's push that up. Okay, that's actually quite far along with removing code that doesn't make sense and generally making this a bit faster. I feel like we missed something. Oh, we did. Yeah, look at this. We did. We don't need this anymore. This line up to here can go. I'd expect this still to work. Yeah, it still works. Right. No, wrong window. Git commit minus M because we just did one thing. Removed redundant life component name check. What? What's going on? Git commit. minus M. Oh, I didn't specify what I was committing. Great. Oh, what's wrong with this? Unnecessary parenthesis. Okay, so we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. That's a nice little tidy. You know, I remember somewhere, one of these functions, I said there was an extra space that was upsetting me. There it is. Be a good thing to roll into the same commit. Git commit. Clippy suggestions. By spacing and clippy suggestions. There we go. Good stuff. Don't really need entity anymore. It's going to complain about that. We don't really need life anymore. Like, we could underscore that. That's going to be an improvement. I'm going to be a bit more risky and not test stuff on a couple of commits. Life to life. I mean, we don't need. I mean, does it need explaining? I don't think it does. So name is no longer needed. Arguably, neither is entity. Do we need that? I'm not sure we do. So let's get rid of this. Names can go. Entities can go. We're not using it, so that can go. That can go. And we are using entities. Control Z. Yeah, so named can go. There we go. That looks happy. Okay. Check that run still. Field is never read from. Unused import named. Oh, probably from up here now, yeah? At the top of this file, we're not using named. That works still fine. Rid of that. We've not added or taken away any functionality this stream, but we have removed quite a bit of code. What have I done? Git diff. Just say removed unused code. Removed unused code. Unsued. Unused code. Keep pushing Control X. Colon X. Because I keep thinking I'm in Vim and I'm really not. So that's better. Control Z that. What is this complaining about? That's in, oh, there's some unused imports in main. Oh, there's loads. Rid of that. Rid of that. Get rid of the whole of Rendy. Get rid of the asset loader system. That still runs. Assume it does. Get ready with a commit. Removed unused imports. Great. Still working. Pretty good. We've been at this for an hour. I think we've reduced the code quite considerably. If I was to have a look at this on GitHub, I bet we'd see a whole bunch of code removals. GitHub game 1 commits. Really, only 81 commits ever? That feels like a very small amount. because I'm not logged in? I was hoping I could do a comparison, but I'm not logged in here, so I can't. But that's not bad. Look, that's today. Removed, added, removed. Loads and loads of tidying. That's a huge improvement. So we'll be well set up for the next stream. Right, thanks all for watching. I think we'll hit pause there. Of course, we'll end the video with, oh no, there's one thing. We'll do that next stream. We'll do it next stream. Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll end this video with proof that we didn't break everything. Look at that. It still works.